What's going on, everyone? We are back again with another Capybara Go video. I have been having a ton of fun in the game lately, and I wanted to talk about something that I've actually seen a couple posts on in Reddit. I do peruse the Capybara Go Reddit and the Capybara Go Discord every once in a while to see what's kind of going on in the community and what people have questions about. And it seems like we've gotten actually quite a few new players during the 1-year Cappy anniversary event, and maybe some returning players or people that don't actually understand one of the most important systems in the game. So we're going to dive in to the adventure tab and talk about something that you really don't want to make a mistake on, because it is something that you basically are completely time gated on unless you're planning on spending a bunch of money. Now, even if you're spending money, this is something that you don't really want to be messing at, because it would be a very, very expensive mistake. I've had a lot of people talking about what adventure should I be going for my build. Should I be trying to invest into, picking up the Dragon Girl and then grabbing Wukong, or grabbing Gagarin, or grabbing whatever Ninja Turtle that we'll be getting or being able to get very shortly, since the Ninja Turtle event's coming back? What should I be doing? And I've seen a lot of people say oh yeah, make sure you unlock, an adventure, make sure you get them unlocked, make sure that you do this, and you started on Dragon Girl, but actually Gagarin is better at certain ranks. I'm going to pull up kind of what stats we should be looking at for each of the main 3 builds. Again, when I talk about the main 3, I'm talking about Whisper, Sky Splitter, and the Reaper Staff, and kind of which adventures outpace which at certain points, or at least the DPS calculations. But the biggest mistake that I've seen out of all of them is not focusing in on one. No matter what. Honestly, I wouldn't even recommend unlocking a lot of the secondary adventures unless you're at a point where you have so much adventure dust that all of your adventures are at least level 90. Because at that point, then you could start using your adventure dust to unlock. Well, you can unlock a new adventure and then use those adventure dust to enhance them to those certain points at the levels 30, 60, and 90. You get global stats to all your adventures. But outside of that, outside to when you get to that point, you should be prioritizing one. If you started with Gagarin, you keep going with Gagarin. If you start with Dragon Girl, you keep going with Dragon Girl. And I generally recommend Dragon Girl because it's kind of a catch-all. Okay, and actually it outpaces a lot of the other DPS calculations, which again, we'll go over in just a moment. But the key with this is you have the resonance system. And it seems like, maybe people forgot or don't understand this system, but this allows you to take whatever adventure you've prioritized and transition all of those stats over to another one. Straight up. That's amazing. So it doesn't matter if Gagarin's better for Whisperer. If you start with Dragon Girl, you keep going with Dragon Girl, because you could just resonate with Gagarin and use him anyways. If you decide to swap your build entirely and go for a counter-based build and you want to use Wukong, don't try to buy Wukong. Keep using Dragon Girl and Resident. This is something that we really went in depth when the Resident system came out, because this was something that was a question in the past. Do I keep going on the same adventure? Do I swap? What do I do? And oftentimes people are like, go Dragon Girl, because it's just the catch-all option. Nowadays, we have leaders that are specific towards certain builds and better for others. Like Raphael, for example, is like the king, the absolute king of your counterattack or normal attack based build. So Helios Warblade is Raphael's playground, but you don't want to be going for Raphael. And the only reason I have a star on Raphael is because he was unique to the Ninja Turtle shop, where I can get the global stats from a 1-star version. It's the only time I've gotten additional adventures. All of my other adventures are either not unlocked, or they're the rare. I don't even have the panda because I didn't buy the $20 pack. So make sure you're just prioritizing one adventure. It is so important to get these level ups. And honestly, when you get those star ups for your main adventure, that's the huge upgrade. Even if you were to get the global stat bonuses, oftentimes those don't give you a DPS increase comparable to when you get to those higher star levels like 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And let me pull up some charts here to show you all what I'm talking about for each build. So I've pulled up the Capybara Go Discord. I will leave a link to this down below. I have tried to leave a link to the specific Discord for all of the great testers that we have that have done all the work for us, right? Here is an example of the Sky Splitter. Okay, if you are someone who is wanting to go all in on the Sky Splitter, you have a couple of different options for builds. For 0 to 2 star, 3 to 4 star, 5 to 7, 8 to 9, and 10 star, they all give you different options. This doesn't mean that you should be swapping Adventure, it just means you should be swapping your Resonance at that time. So for example, if Dragon Girl, which you can see is consistent throughout, is just the one you've been upgrading so far, you resonate with Leo at the beginning, and then you just keep using it until at some point, maybe you want to go with Raphael or Michelangelo at that respective star level because it does more either damage or it does some sort of effect that you're looking for. Then just resonate and change that resonance at that time. You don't need to be focusing on, oh man, I messed up. I got the Dragon Roll, I got Gagarin, or I got Wukong, and I should have gotten this one. Just keep upgrading on that one. You can just resonate with the other options. And the way you get resonance crystals is through the crystal store. So you could get those on a monthly basis, and you shouldn't be changing your adventure on a monthly basis because it only changes on the star level basis. So for example, for PvE purposes, PvP is completely different, by the way, completely different. Don't focus on PvP for me because oftentimes it requires a certain amount of spending to even do anything. But for 0 to 2, you really, really want to be going for Leonardo because it's going to give you increased proc chance for all the different CC options that you have. From 3 to 4, well, you can choose between Dragon Girl or Leonardo, right? If you want more damage, oftentimes Dragon Girl. But if, let's say, you have more proc chances or certain things upgraded, as they say, the Pig Smash and the War Maniac, you want to go with Leonardo. At 5 to 7 stars, you get significant DPS increases for Dragon Girl, so I want to go back there. 8 to 9 is Raphael and Dragon Girl, and 10 star is Michelangelo, which is a swap from all the other ones because its damage really skyrockets when you unlock those extra kind of effects at the star level. And we can apply this, if I want to Whisper as well. If I pull up the Whisper and go through the index here and pull up the adventures, which I'm sure I can find it here very, very shortly, we will find out exactly which adventures to use. Or at least, rather, when they did the testing. Here we go. What adventures and synergy blessing? 0 to 1 star, we want Dragon Girl. 2 to 4 star, we want Gagarin, right? And then Leonardo, depends, right? Leonardo can give you extra CC chances if that's what you're looking for. But 5 to 7, you want Dragon Girl because of the rage damage increase. And then 8 to 10 star, Michelangelo. Okay, Michelangelo. That's something to consider, right? And you just want to go with whatever adventure you want and then just swap it at the given time. Don't try to prioritize, oh, Michelangelo is the one to go for. I may as well not even upgrade the other ones until I get Michelangelo. No. You keep investing in the big adventure, you focus in on one, and then you just swap your adventure based on the star level that you're at with the resonance. It's pretty fortunately easy to do with the new system. Before the resonance system, this was very, very complicated because you had to make a decision as to whether or not to continue to go with Dragon Girl because it's way more important in the early star levels and it can be very difficult to get the later star levels. But now it's actually relatively easy simply because they've added the resonance system, which I think is a great update. And it's one of the reasons why I suggested if you guys weren't playing during the Ninja Turtle event, which we will have that coming up soon, but it doesn't look like you can actually earn any currency. It's kind of unfortunate to see Michelangelo, Leonardo, Raphael, and Donatello, for all the ones out there that didn't actually play during the period of the Ninja Turtles, that you can't actually get them because oftentimes the Ninja Turtles are going to be some of the best options. I mean, Michelangelo has been very impressive at a late game level, and everyone's done the math for us, which is absolutely fantastic. And there's updates all the time for these. So do not try to decide, immediately. Just go for Dragon Girl. That's usually what I recommend because it's oftentimes in the early game going to be the best or if not one of the best options. And you can always resonate. Always resonate. Gagarin, Sun Wukong are generally build specific anyways. And yet Dragon Girl still outpaces them. So just keep on building what you're building. Again, even if it's Sun Wukong, which I said it was build specific, if you've already gotten 1 to 2 stars in it, keep going. Do not try to sidestep and go back and try to get Dragon Girl or whatever. Thanks for watching, everyone. I had to make a video about this just because I saw so many posts about people asking the question. And to be honest, it's not even a real question in my eyes because of the resonance system. So hopefully that alleviates some of the trepidation with trying to decide which adventure to go for. And it makes your life a little bit easier. And I'll see you all for the next one.